So I remember doing like a reel on this a long time ago. It's like, how Sistas fans want Fatima to treat Karen. And it had to do with that one scene from If Loving You Was Wrong where Marcie went up to Alex and slapped her. I think this wasn't long after she found out about the affair between her and Randall and the fact that Alex could possibly be pregnant with Randall's child. And I believe at the time, and excuse me if I'm wrong, remember the show's been gone for a while, but I think Marcie was attempting to get pregnant but couldn't yet. Here her husband is getting some heifer pregnant that lives next door. But I remember looking at that scene in hindsight like, wow, I mean, all fans want is for Fatima to give Karen one good slap because she's done way too much. And that's one of the biggest Look, it's bad enough that fans turned off the show as soon as the DNA test results said that Zach was the father of one of the kids. But the worst part is these writers just seemingly make it to where Fatima has to like bow down and kiss the ring, or in this case, the baby bump, because over the past couple seasons, we had way too many scenes of Fatima sitting down with Karen to, just reiterate the same thing we've been hearing since like season 4. And that's, Karen, I would never do anything to harm, you and Zach's child and yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, what? Because what was it? The last time this happened was when Fatima was wearing the yellow dress and white shirt and, yellow pants, yellow blazer, white. Sure. Yeah, whatever. And I remember she was at the apartment because she randomly popped up on Karen. But the thing was, number one, it was the middle of the day, not late at night. Number two, she knocked. And number three, I think Karen was like, Fatima, what the hell are you doing here? And I'm like, really? And compare this to the finale where Karen just walks into Zach and Fatima's home without even knocking. But that was that scene where she's sitting down and like they're talking and everything. And I think BET our sisters on BET, they posted the clip, and it was like, were we the only ones tearing up during this emotional black girl magic moment? And I'm like, no, because this is like the 8th time we've had this exact same scene, and then Karen goes right back to being bitchy again. But no, these new writers, like, Karen can do no wrong. It's like everybody else has to apologize to her despite her toxic behavior, well, since the beginning of the show. And there's like no redemption for her. And it's like everything in her life is seemingly going well, So I just feel like to have all these characters who she's been disrespectful to, the people she's hurt, the people that she dismisses, yet she never really apologizes. Now, let me know if I'm wrong, but I think one of the few people that Karen has ever quote unquote apologized to was Trey, not long after he was introduced in season 7 and he was trying to flirt with her. And I remember Trey saying something to the effect of, yeah, when I finished school, or I think it was when they were talking to Pam about the importance of like credit and not getting into a lot of debt. So yeah, when you go to the bank, try to open up your own business account and things like that. And he mentioned school, and Karen was like, oh, you went to school? And for whatever, and I remember saying this too, I did a video because I was in the minority when I said this. I said, to me, I don't think what Karen said was done so in a patronizing tone. It was more like a surprise, like, oh, you went to school? Like, what did you study? No, Trey just went in on her like, oh, well, because you think, what? Because I delivered boxes and everything, you think I didn't go to school? And I'm like, what? That felt out of pocket. And then like Pam and her mom even came in and said like, well, you can be a bit uppity sometimes. And then she actually apologized. And I'm like, I don't think she needed to do that. I mean, for one, I don't think she was being condescending for once. And number two, there are way more characters who deserve an apology, and a sincere one at that, from Karen rather than Trey. So when I look at Karen and how she's dealt with a lot of these characters, and now all of a sudden everything is cool between them, especially when the other characters come to her to make peace, even though they were the ones who were on the defense the entire time, I don't think that's right. But when you look at Marcie and Alex's dynamic throughout If Loving You Was Wrong, what made that dynamic so, well, good was that it didn't feel like one side was constantly being crapped on, while the opposition was able to just fire as many shots just because, like, haha, my pregnancy keeps me safe. Whereas we know good and well that, for one, if it wasn't for the baby, or if it being Zach's baby, Fatima would have, well, let's be real, fucked Karen over 25 times already. And it's just like one of those situations where it's really ridiculous that you have a fan favorite character just constantly on the receiving end of Karen's nonsensical behavior, and there's no comeuppance whatsoever. Yeah, I think one of the few, if only, times we saw Karen have a moment of comeuppance was when Aaron finally grew a backbone and told her ass off in season 7, and that's it. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I think that's what really set the Alex and Marcie thing up. Not to mention, you had Marcie tag teaming with Brad to like get back at Randall and Alex, so I thought that was cool too. Whereas in this situation, it really feels like Fatima was on her own because, she was like the new girl in school. Karen didn't like the fact that her friends were liking Fatima more than her, so it was like, you can't sit with us. But then it got to the point where Karen was just by herself, and now it's like, oh, come on, Karen, everything's cool. No. So that's my thought there. So my question is, once these babies are born, and if Karen starts to get back on that BS, like, how is Fatima going to handle the situation then? Because keep in mind, Fatima's pregnant now, and something tells me that if Karen wants to, say something out of pocket or do something to Fatima, she's not going to have the same grace to a woman carrying a baby that Fatima did for her. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah, I think that Alex and Marcie, Tyler handled that dynamic far better than anything Karen and Fatima related in Sistas. So, with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next video.